Democratic Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal of Washington is joining us now. She serves on the House Judiciary Committee. And Congressman, we just showed the latest poll of President Trump's approval rating. It's 36%. Obviously, that's not good news for the president or for Republicans. But I want to show you another part of this same poll. When asked whether Democrats stood for something or just stand against President Trump, 52% say your party just stands against the president. Have Democrats become the party of opposition?
Well, I've said for some time now that we can't just be an opposition party. We have to be a proposition party. And many of us have put forward a number of bills that are about our Democratic agenda. Everything from actually fixing the pieces of health care that we need to fix, to providing affordable college, to investing in jobs and infrastructure. But what we have right now, Anna, is a situation where it was good to see Senator Collins and Senator Warner talk about the need for both parties to recognize the severity of the situation we're in. Unfortunately, Chairman Goodlatte on the Judiciary Committee, where I serve, has refused to have a single hearing on any of these issues, and that's why I introduced, along with my colleague David Cicilline, a resolution of inquiry to force the Judiciary Committee to actually hold a hearing and find out the facts around Comey's firing, around Jeff Sessions' so-called recusal from anything that has to do with Russia. And we're going to be amending that resolution of inquiry to actually include Donald Trump Jr. as well, because I think this is far above party. This is about our Constitution, and it's about our democracy, about whether or not there was foreign influence in our elections. And we need to get to the bottom of that.
Now, hold your thought on that, because I want you to take a look at another poll question. When you talk about this not being a partisan issue, this poll found Democrats, 80% believe Russia tried to influence last year's election. But look at that, just 33% of Republicans who were polled think so. Why is this becoming a partisan issue?
This is the thing I think is most troubling. You know, we need the president to put the affairs of the country before his own personal issues. And we need the president actually in this position to be saying, we need to get to the bottom of this. I am going to do everything I can, and my administration is going to do everything I can to make sure we get the facts. And
are you surprised 1 in 5 Democrats? Are you surprised 1 in 5 Democrats still don't believe it's a big deal?
No, I don't think so, because I think everybody is really trying to absorb these, what's going on. And I got to tell you, it's difficult to keep up with it. But I think the reality is there is a need for information. That's what we're trying to get to, is the facts. And we need Democrats and Republicans to stand up. And those Republicans in the House and the Senate who don't stand up and say we at least need to get this information, they are enabling our democracy and our Constitution to be undermined. And that's really what our resolutions of inquiry are designed to get at. You know, the House Judiciary Committee, Anna, is the only committee of jurisdiction that has not held a single hearing. The Senate Judiciary Committee has, the House Intelligence and Senate Intelligence Committees have, but the House Judiciary Committee has yet to do that. And I swore an oath to protect and defend the Constitution, and I am going to continue to try to push our Chairman Goodlatte, to actually address this issue. Let's have people in. Let's get to the bottom of this. Let's make sure we don't actually, say we don't have any jurisdiction over it. We do, and it's our responsibility to the American people.
But as you point out, there are multiple congressional investigations already underway. You don't think those are sufficient?
No, it's always been written that numerous committees have jurisdiction in these situations. Judiciary in particular is one of the most important, because we have jurisdiction over the Constitution, and these are constitutional issues. The Emoluments Clause was put there because our founders were so concerned with the influence of foreign governments on our president, on our administration. And so you need to have multiple committees that have jurisdiction actually exercise that jurisdiction. And conservatives and Democrats, both sides of the aisle have said that we really need to be pursuing this investigation to its fullest.
Now, obviously, these other intelligence committees, both the Senate and the House Intel committees, have discussed calling everybody who was involved in that latest meeting that was revealed between Donald Trump Jr. and a couple of the other campaign aides, as well as these Russians who we've learned were at the meeting. Call all those people before the committees to testify. Of the different characters who were part of that meeting, we now know there were up to 8 people in that room. Who do you think may provide the most crucial testimony?
That's a difficult question because I'll tell you, Jared Kushner obviously is going to be important. Donald Trump Jr. has already given us a lot of information that's very disturbing. His reaction and response to the initial inquiry should have been to call the FBI, but instead he said, I'd love it. Give me that information. I'd love it. But I think really we're looking at every single one of these people that you have up on the screen is going to provide critical information. Certainly Donald Trump Jr., Jared Kushner, and Manafort are going to be critical in there. But the Russian side of the equation and what they do or don't say is going to be very important as well.
There's a new line of defense just this morning from the president's lawyer on this Don Jr. meeting with the Russians. Jay Sekulow says the Secret Service shouldn't have allowed these people in if they were so nefarious. What's your reaction to that?
My reaction is that I wish that the president and his attorneys would just put the country first. Instead of thinking about their own personal protection and how they protect themselves against whatever might be coming forward, we need them to actually start to talk about what's right for democracy and what's right for the American people. So it's troubling to me that they continue to put up lines of defense. I mean, the idea that anybody would take this meeting, I thought David French said it best, conservative columnist in the National Review, when he said, no, it's not okay to take that meeting. It is not okay to take that meeting. That is a clear indication of foreign influence. And I think that what we're trying to do is really get to the bottom of the facts. If there's nothing to hide, then let us get the information. There may be nothing here, but at least let us understand and investigate that so that we can put this issue to bed and we can make sure that we're preserving our Constitution and our democracy.
Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.